My name's Clark. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to supercharge your organic growth with your website and AI. So obviously, we're all living in a new world, right? The downturn market means we've got smaller teams with less resources. It means we're seeing paid ads be more volatile, which means CAC costs are more uncertain. And all of this is happening while customers have the highest expectations than ever for more personalization and more tailored experiences. So it's safe to say that you guys are up against a lot. I know where you're coming from. I spent almost a decade of my life building products and brands for other people, so I've been there. What's really interesting is there's a channel that's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting on this for you guys, and it's just in the last 5 months that this has even been possible. And that channel is your website. So when you look at all of the places where your company is making revenue, your website's going to be contributing to each one of those. Today, I'm going to be focused on search and how that relates to your organic growth. So when you're focused on organic growth, really the thing you need to concentrate on is creating great content. And usually great content means more specific content and helpful content. That's what Google wants to see, and that's what your users want to see. It's no surprise that this has worked in the past for traditional SEO, but today I'm going to be showing you how to supercharge this in a completely new way. The top companies have been doing this for a while. What they're able to do is consistently publish really high quality content, and they're able to leverage scale in order to do this. So they're doing this with thousands of pages, and that's partially with long format content like blog posts and articles, but it's also short form content with localization and specific use cases. And when they're doing this, they're able to achieve higher rankings on Google and higher conversion rates for their campaigns. So maybe some of you guys out there are doing this today, but it's actually really difficult to do this at scale with your website. There's a myriad of tools that you can kind of string together to make this happen. But the reality is it's really difficult to write lots of impactful content. It's hard to maintain and edit lots of pages on your website. And often you're going to run into these infrastructure limits and issues along the way. That's why companies are so excited today about the .com. It enables them to publish pages for every search, every question, and every situation, no matter how specific. So let's talk a little bit about programmatic pages and what this really means. When you're able to generate lots of pages, you can up the amount of keywords and impressions and clicks that you guys are able to get. You can also improve conversions with better personalization, and you can increase your top of funnel, all while maximizing your campaigns and channels through your website. What's really great about the organic path is the more you add, the more you grow. And so we've seen companies use the .com and get impressions in just under 48 hours, which is amazing. And it's great because it's compounding. So the longer it exists, the more content you add, the more context each link gets, the better all of them do. So it's really cool to see. Cool. Well, I want you guys to do something. Pull out your phones and go to Google and search Ghost Kitchen menu ideas. I don't want you to just take my word for it. This is something that actually works. What you'll see is a couple of ads up top, and then one of the top organic links is going to be Lunchbox. They leverage the .com to generate these specific pages, which enable them to rank quite high on Google. Are you guys seeing it up there? Yeah, pretty cool. So let me talk you through how this kind of works, right? So you've got the content that you know your customer needs, and you want to be able to publish this on your website. Well, what's really cool is, some of the content that you know your customer needs might be around use cases or your landing pages or things that you're kind of already aware of. But there's also this whole other set of content that you have that you could be leveraging for your customer. And that might be coming from your CRM. It might be coming from enrichment tools or keyword tools. And all of this data and content can actually be published on your site and leveraged for organic SEO. So with the .com, this is kind of how it looks. You've got all of your data sources content on the left. All you have to do is put that into a sheet, and then on the right, you'll start generating pages. And it's really easy. You can use these pages for SEO, for account-based marketing, for paid ad landing pages, but mostly, for that organic growth. All right, you guys want to see how it works and jump into the demo? Let's hop over here. All right, so I've logged into the .com here. I am going to pull up a spreadsheet, and this sheet has a bunch of content that I'm interested in showcasing to my customers. Maybe it's the industries that I'm targeting. Maybe it's the specific use cases. It could be, some of my performance marketing or keywords or customers. And I can take any of this content and start turning it into a page. So first, what I'm going to do is just take you around the platform a little bit so you can kind of see how this works and get used to it. I will create a new programmatic page set by clicking this. I'm going to choose a blank sheet to start to make this easy. And then I'm going to pick a design. Let's do case study. And what this is going to do is take the content, whether you selected blank or existing content, and the design, and pair those together inside of the platform. Cool. So I've got my case study, and I want to start editing this. When you're looking at the sheet on the left, each column becomes a variable on the page. So that might be text or color or image. And then every single row is going to become a new page. So in this circumstance, maybe I want to replace this content up here. I can just add, my H1, and then I can select what I want to become the reference. So if I select this and choose text content, and then anything I type here becomes the top of the page. So it's really easy to link your sheet to the actual page on the right side of the screen. And this can be done for content, code, and design. So I can also connect things like my button color. And do this, and then search for my background color. And now if I want this to be black, I can do that right here, and you'll see it happen live on the screen. Super cool. So what does this actually mean in terms of building out a real site? So I've got my landing page set up here, and I've got my sheet on the left. Well, I'm going to go to my data, and I am going to pick from these use cases. I'm just going to select all of this content here, and then I'm going to head back and paste it. So now, as I key through this, you'll see that I've got over 30 pages with some customized content at the top of the page. Super cool. And this column here, column B, can be connected to as many places on the page as you want. So we see it changing here on this H1, but we also see it in this paragraph, and it exists down here as well. Super cool. All right, now let's get into the AI component of what we're looking at today. So, say I've got 30-something pages. I'm targeting these specific use cases. This company called Rainbow, they're a project management platform for enterprise, and they're trying to target all these specific use cases. Well, you don't want to write 30 or 100 or 5,000 paragraphs for every single part of the page. So right here in this paragraph, I've got this connected to column C. I'm going to click Generate Content. And this is going to bring up a prompt with an AI experience right here. And I'm going to choose which amount of rows I want to connect to. So maybe I'll just do the first 10 so you guys can check it out. And I'm just going to give it a prompt. So write a short one-sentence paragraph about. And one of the unique things about this experience is not only can you generate content in bulk because we're dealing with a sheet, you can also reference columns inside of the prompt, which enables your prompt engineering to be really specific to the thing you're targeting. So I can add a reference here to column B, and I'm going to check, a quick example to see what it's going to write for me, and this looks pretty good. And then all I have to do is add this to my sheet. And this is going to go through and write each one of these paragraphs for me and take me through the process. So what's so cool about this is you can start with existing content. You can amplify that with AI content, and you can do it all in one cohesive experience that allows you to edit and publish in bulk. So now that I've got this beautiful page here, I can just click deploy all, and this will publish all of my pages out for me, and we can check those out. Sweet, and I'll click on some of these as they load. If you guys want to get in there and edit more deeply, there's a full editing experience behind the scenes that enables you to touch any of the design. If you want to connect things into the head, the body, whatever you want. So it's super, super flexible. We've got some pretty incredible customers who are using this already, like Ramp recently signed on. And really, we're just seeing a lot of really, really interesting use cases. So takes a second for these to deploy. Cool. So yeah, you can see I've got these amazing landing pages that are specifically targeted to individual use cases of this project management software. And in order to tailor 30 pages, I was able to do that in a couple of minutes, and let AI do all the heavy lifting. And that's pretty much it. We really wanted to focus on making the sheet as freeform as possible. So the first column is the only one that's really locked, and that's going to be your page URL that it's deploying to. Outside of that, you can add content in whatever format you want. So, here I've got different project types, which are just maybe the use cases that I'm targeting, right? You can see here that this reference is targeting column B, right? And so I've put some words around the variable. And now when I'm adding things into column B, you can see that these items are changing here, right? So as I key through these, those are changing. And so, yeah, it can be the full header if you want, but it can also just be portions of a header. So if you have like a list of customers and their locations, you might want to input those locations into different spots on the page that aren't always just the header, right? And you could do this for images, embed codes. What we're able to do is enable people to create really high quality specific content. I think if you generated 1,000 pages with only one word that changed per page, Google's going to flag you for that. And that's actually what we prefer. So our customers really focus on making each page pretty individual. You're able to do that by adding more and more variables. So the more columns that you add and the more you connect to different places, the more the pages are going to have a different set of content. And so far, what we've seen is customers have grown significantly on their impressions, their clicks, and Google's super happy with it. Really, I think when you look at Google from a bigger picture, like they want to provide really specific content. That's why you're getting rich snippets. That's why you're getting people also ask. And so the more specific you can wrap your offering in content, the better for Google, because they want to provide that. So, part of this is about like long tail keywords, but it's also about targeting very specific things like the keywords I had you guys look up. So we haven't run into that, and it's actually something that we're really focused on, is enabling people to make pages super different from page to page. You can add metadata as a variable if you want. So it's completely flexible. You can connect to whatever you want. The other thing that you're doing is you're able to connect this to your existing URL through either a subfolder or subdomain. So when customers visit your site, this can drive traffic back to the site as well. I think if you're using a platform like AI or like the .com to purposefully like dissuade somebody or put out fake information, I think that's on the user. In terms of what we do to enable that, because you can add variables inside of the prompt, what you're doing is you're making the prompt more specific around the thing that you're trying to cover. So, when we sign up customers, we talk them through like how to make prompts that enable generate content that's more truthful. But I think it's on you to go through and check all these and make sure that you're not putting out fake information or something that's a lie. The same way you would if you were copying and pasting into a WordPress site. So you can also create hub pages with the same experience. We're working to make that a little bit more automated, but I'll show you guys one of our customers here. So they've created all of these articles based on this hub page here, and all of this is built inside of the platform. So they're using the .com to create this hub page. So most of our customers are tied in with GSC. And, we kind of have them monitor both their Google Search Console and like Ahrefs is kind of our preferred method. But we're working on internal analytics. I think for now, Google does a pretty good job, and it's the most trustworthy source. So that's how customers do it. So again, coming back to adding variables into the prompts, that helps kind of compound the uniqueness of the prompt. I think, if any of you guys have been generating content on chat or whatever, you spend a lot of time engineering the prompt to make sure it puts out what you want. And having these variables makes it definitely much easier. There's also some proprietary stuff we've been working on with this AI that makes simple answers be repeatable, but more complex answers are kind of forced to be different. So like if you're looking up, the list of top cities in the US, it's not going to constantly try and come up with new top cities. It's going to know. But if you're doing something a lot more detailed, it's going to push harder to come up with unique content. Yeah, we actually have had some people reach out recently about localization from a language standpoint, generating page sets for different languages, as well as generating entire web experiences with different languages. I think it's an excellent use case, and because you can edit in bulk, it makes it really easy to do. So the platform today connects with Zapier, and if you want to run like a webhook, or if a platform already connects with Zapier, you can pump the information in from there. We've also been working on the ability to kind of schedule out those deployments. So if new content comes in and there's a change, then that can trigger a deployment as well. We're also seeing customers use this for like user-generated content. You can create a connection between this sheet and a Google form. The answers to the form can fill out the sheet and then publish a page. So there's really a ton of use cases. I think the API side of things is really, really interesting to us. A lot of customers have been asking about that recently. I think it's about getting that data into the sheet. That's going to be a really fun next challenge. For now, Zapier, pacing from sheets. If you can run a call inside of a Google Sheet, it's usually a good option.